Look, SeeDream 3.0 by ByteDance has now taken the second spot of the text-to-image arena. It's just 1 point behind GPT-4o in image benchmarks, and it actually beats it in key areas like typography, photorealism, and coherence. So today we're gonna test them on a bunch of different image generators with the same exact prompt. I'm gonna share you how you can get access to it right now and how to use it. And by the end of this video, we'll figure out, is it worth switching from ChatGPT or your favorite image generator over to SeeDream 3.0? Let's find out. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is the output images. Of course, if they can't really give us any great output, we're not that interested. But there are also many other features that they are including, like 2K render, great text output, and so forth. But I'm gonna explain that as we go through this video. So I'm actually gonna mute this. Next gen text to image model, as you can see, text rendering, aesthetic quality, structural stability, text image alignment, public preference, and portrait quality. These are the things that they have kept in mind when making these images. As you can see, you can actually generate real text on images themselves. As you can see, it pops it up in the top left corner. I don't read Chinese, but this looks very aesthetic. It's probably inspirational, maybe a little bit emotional if you ask me, with the guy on the beach, maybe a little bit of heartbreak. It's gonna be fine, little guy. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Keep going, small text with crisp clarity. As you can see, making more of a billboard or propaganda poster. Whoops. More and more these amazing birds. Here we have realistic portraits, cinematic aesthetics, where you get these types of images. Old school, we know we like the 1980s type portraits here. Here we have multiple characters, and you do see a bit of those AI generated gloom and not so sharp images, as you can see here, but still really good on the adherence to a prompt. And here you also have a 2K resolution image of this moth or butterfly looking super crisp. Very, very cool. Here you see post-processing free as well, so hopefully that gives us some upscaling abilities. I think that was an example of real reference images that they actually have. In the Explore tab here as well, discover, imagine, beyond, infinity, type, beyond words, and SeeDream. So that's cool and all. It seems fast. It seems it can actually do text like ChatGPT can as well, but let's compare the image models back to back. So in this paper, they actually explained a bunch of what is going on behind the model itself, what they've been working on and how they've been training it. But also in this paper, they have a bunch of comparisons from different models that I love as well. So let's take a look at this image here and see what we can learn from it. As you can see here, the prompt is 2 boys are in the haunted house. The boy in front looks frightened while the boy behind appears calm. Let's take a look at Flux 1.1 Pro here. As you can see, the boy in the front is quite frightened while the boy in the back is quite calm. It also does look like a haunted house. Here in SeeDream 2.0, you also have this face here. He looks a little bit frightened, but more curious or shocked. And the guy in the back is also a little bit shocked as well. I'm gonna do SeeDream or the new SeeDream in a minute. Here we have ideogram. Here he looks quite shocked or frightened. And the guy in the back actually looks like he wants to feed the kid to the haunted monster in the house. Here you go, just a donation. Yeah, just eat this guy and not me. Here as well, we have 2 shocked faces in this very sketchy type format in Midjourney v6.1. So let's take a look at SeeDream 3.0 here, having first of all a very haunted house with a big ghost type creature on the right side. You also have the flaking of the paint on the walls here as well, with the boy in the front being extremely frightened. You also have the boy in the back being more of a worried face as well, which is really, really great at adhering to the prompt. And yeah, it's, I think, the best image of the bunch. But what about the second example here? Here they have more of a prompt that is two 14-year-old boys dressed in Y2K style perform a one-handed ground move on stage as part of a break dancing routine. And here is these images may cause discomfort. Yeah, I don't want to be on my hands. Also, Midjourney, what's going on here? Brother is doing the dislocate your arm type move. When we go over to ideogram, you can see here that both of them are actually performing a one hand to the ground type move. They're both looking really cool. I really like the composition of this as well, as they are centered in the middle, having a very chill face. Their legs as well do have a little bit of a weirdness to it, but it seems like it's actually physically possible. And you also see the clothes here with the wrinkles look absolutely gorgeous, even with all the people in the back here as well. So ideogram performed really well here. But Flux 1.1 Pro, which is my favorite image generator currently, yeah, it's a little bit of an extra hand popping up. This doesn't actually seem possible. It is three hands, one of them coming out of the chest of the guy as well. Having an Adidas logo was pretty cool. There's a Nike shoes here as well. But yeah, definitely not one of the greater generations here in this test. Here we have SeeDream 2.0, which definitely creates a face that looks like a puppet of some sort, and the quality is definitely not as high as the other models. But when we take a look at SeeDream 3.0, you can see that both of them are on stage holding their hands to the ground. The quality of this image is just ridiculously high, and I couldn't tell if this was real or not. It looks completely real. There's maybe a little bit of too much blurriness or AI generated face on this character here, but overall just an absolutely beautiful image here as well. But they even have more examples specifically of this girl here. The prompt is a girl, one eye is purple and the hair on that side is blue. The other eye is blue and the hair on that side is purple. Realistic. So let's take a look at these now. Flux 1.1 Pro has a blue eye on the right and the purple or pink hair on the right as well. On the left side, pink eye and blue hair there. You also see that the character itself is really aesthetic, beautiful character here. It also has a little bit of makeup around the eye here as well, making it all a really beautiful image. And it was also coherent, making it actually possible. In Midjourney v6.1, you get more of a non-realistic, so they actually did prompt it with realistic here, but it doesn't actually do as well on that front. It does have a purple eye on the purple hair side and the blue eye on the blue hair side, which is not really what we're looking for. So it didn't really actually manage to adhere to the prompt that we were writing. With Imagen 3, they also have purple here on the left and this wrong eye on this side, which is obviously pretty confusing for the image generator themselves, but the image is by far more realistic. I don't know, this seems a little bit more realistic than this one, because this one is definitely has this image generator look to it. And then we have SeeDream 2.0, which created more of a elf type girl. There is no purple eye, and there's a little bit of purple here on this side here, but not enough to really get a good result in this test. But when we take a look at the SeeDream 3.0, you definitely see that this eye is very purple, even with some makeup on top. On the blue side and on the purple side, they have a blue eye. Also, the quality and the blur, kind of the quality of the image here of being photorealistic with blurriness on the eye here that seems straight out of camera looks really, really good. So it's performing really well in this, but what about these type of sticker designs? The prompt is sticker series design. Sticker 1, a monkey is grinning with the text happy below. Sticker 2, the monkey wears sunglasses with the text cool below. Sticker 3, the monkey is holding a flower with a shy expression with the text shy below. Sticker 4, the monkey looks surprised with the text surprise below. And if we take a look at the different examples here, let's start with Imagen 3. We're looking for happy, cool, shy, and surprise. So here on Imagen, we have happy, cool, and then shy should have been under this one here and surprise below here. It is not perfectly able to set the text where it should be, but it definitely gets the correct faces and emoji or emotions on the stickers themselves. Like this one is definitely shy and this one is a little bit more surprised. When it comes to Midjourney 6.1, you can also see happy, cool, surprise, and shy. I believe that this is not exactly what they were talking about. It should be shy on the left side, and on the right side it should be surprise. So it did switch up the two images here on the bottom. However, it definitely got the correct emojis a little bit. I know this guy doesn't really look that shy. He looks more confident and cocky. Like, hey girl, wanna go home and see my banana collection? When we check out Ideogram 3.0 as well, we see happy, cool, shy, and surprised. Looking really good. The stickers here has a more minimalistic design. However, it was able to do all of them really, really well. And then when we look at SeeDream, it created an even more minimalistic graphic design here with happy, cool, shy, and surprised. Making a very simple design here, but it was able to do it all in the exact same style that we were looking for, with the emotions of the characters looking really, really good. You also have the SeeDream 2.0, where it was actually able to do this before as well, having all of these in place. Such a cool prompt to test it on, but they also had another design comparison prompt, which is a chibi character, girl, full body, street dance, 3-view drawing. Imagen here as well had a character with pink hair doing all these dances in a 3-view drawing. The same with Midjourney 6.1, you have the exact same characters doing a dance, looking really, really good on this one. Love this design. Ideogram 3.0 as well has a more minimalistic design that looks more cartoony, but the two characters are actually doing the exact same thing, so don't particularly like that. Then we have SeeDream 2.0 that has 3 different characters, but still looks really, really cool in a sort of anime cartoony type vibe. And then we have SeeDream 3.0 having this amazing, beautiful background with street art. The character design here as well of the clothes looking absolutely gorgeous. So they were really good at doing this prompt here as well. And it's really cool to see the different comparisons that they have been doing. One thing to note is that in Imagen, Midjourney, and Ideogram, they didn't actually make the background. So in order to do that, we probably should have prompted a cool street graffiti type background. But then we come to text rendering. Here you can see Chinese text rendering on the left, where they are comparing a couple of different models that I haven't tested before, like Miracle Vision and Colors 1.5. But in the English text rendering, we have a couple of things that we've done before. Like Recraft is performing really well on English text rendering. Ideogram performing at 81, 85, and 78. Imagen 3, Flux 1.1 Pro and Midjourney performing the worst out of the bunch. Text rendering is not really that easy to do, and it's a new way that they've been able to do it in ChatGPT, for example, and also seems like SeeDream is better at this than old models. When we check out the text generation of this prompt here, it has a really long prompt. To simplify it, it's a 3D render with a bunch of cops that have all of these words on them, and they're a little bit whimsical and should be floating in the air and adding dimension to the scene with typography, 3D render, and painting. Since I am actually not sure what these words mean, because they're a different language, you can see that this was SeeDream 3.0, and I am assuming that it performed perfectly. I love that they have these felt type cups and the text is popping out of this felt. You even here have this heart with text on top of it that looks almost completely fake, real, I don't know, like almost 3D graphic render type setting. When we take a look at Midjourney 6.1, we can see that the text generation here is quite hard for it. You see here having absolutely no words at all. You also see that it is reusing the exact same thing again, and here obviously having words that don't mean anything. When we go over to Flux 1.1 Pro, it is doing, it seems like, a better job at this task. Again, I'm not sure if these words are completely correct, but overall a really cool image. I'm not sure I like this line that is going up through the image here and in the back here as well, but overall a great design. When we go to GPT-4o, you can see it was actually really good at creating most of the images with this felt type vibe. The only thing is that we're missing a little bit of depth. This seems like it's more of a 2D render with no depth at all, even though it was able to do many of the things inside. Recraft V3 also performed really good at this task. Again, I'm not sure that the text is correct on this, but overall looking really good, also creating some depth because they're on a table here with a nice blue background and these clouds in the top. When we go to this one, Ideogram 2.0, that is a little bit better at text, you also see all the different text generations on top of these really cool felt-like mugs, and it's looking really good. I really like this design. It looks a little bit more complex than the other ones, but overall a great design. When we have SeeDream 2.0, it also is creating a little bit more of a childish type generation. And when we go back again to 3.0, it definitely looks the best out of all the designs in my opinion. But obviously there isn't just text in 3D. We also have text that goes on top of different graphics. So here they are just sharing text generation from SeeDream 3.0. As you can see here, they have generated text in a book that looks really realistic. Here as well, a newspaper that has perfect spelling, and also it fits really well on the page with the shadows and everything like that. Here they have more of a childlike generation with a little world and a couple of colored Chinese symbols. Here we have like for grandma's apple pie type recipe. This one is more of a graphic design. Here is a t-shirt design, and here is a sign that is in a street. Lastly, we have more of a handwritten note or something like that in a book. And I really love that this is out of focus because it looks like it's taken from an actual camera. So it seems like SeeDream 3.0 is really good at generating text, which is one of the hardest things that it can do. They also did a couple more on portraits that you can pause the video now if you want to take a deeper look. Also, they did more portraits here as well because it's one of the biggest use cases. But then they actually compared SeeDream with ChatGPT on text generation, and this is a really cool comparison because they're actually comparing SeeDream and GPT-4o. So on the top, they have SeeDream, and on the bottom, they have GPT-4o. As you can see, this is a prompt that is writing on the window itself. This is the first time that I think this top line here is actually a bit not written on the window. It doesn't seem like the depth perception here is quite good. On the ChatGPT one as well, it doesn't necessarily seem like she's writing on the window itself. It more looks like text just printed on top of the photo itself. But when we go to the next one, of this one writing on the whiteboard here, you can definitely see that all the text is very clear. You see the glossiness of the whiteboard, and you can see the background. You can see the background reflection here as well, perfectly being put on top of the text and everything like that, which is really hard to do. And I got shocked when I saw this for the first time when ChatGPT did it, because they actually have a guy in the background. Hey, take a photo of me. Okay. Me every time I go to a cool place. Here as well, we have a gravestone of some sort, maybe even a tablet or something like that, old school style. With the ChatGPT generation, it does seem like it's doing it pretty well. But yeah, it also doesn't seem to do really that great on SeeDream. It looks more like text is stuck onto the image itself instead of it actually being kind of embossed into the stone itself. So they're performing really similarly when it comes to exactly that text rendering. Now, the next test was also very interesting, because here they're comparison of image edit from left to right, the original image. So in the top left here, then they have Seed Edit 1.6, which I believe is their model. Then they have GPT-4o right here and Gemini 2.0 as well. The prompt that they used for this is in Chinese, so please comment below. Translate to English.
Subscribe to the channel because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Huh. That's a really interesting translation. Oh, wait, the actual translation is changed to a short blue-purple hairstyle. So you can see that Seed Edit 1.6 performed really well on this. Really nice color here. Also keeping the hair a little bit more short than the original image. When they put it into ChatGPT, it also had a very blue-purple hairstyle, and it actually looks really good. But you do see that the character is having a little bit more of their head towards us and not necessarily completely replicating the structure of the image itself. In Gemini 2.0, they did something wacky. It really is too oversaturated. However, it almost looks completely the same. You see in the background here as well, on the side, it looks almost completely the same. So it looks like they're editing images in a different way. On the bottom prompt here as well, they have pretty much done the exact same thing, but we're just gonna check out the prompt. Translate to English. It translates into turn into a color image, or also I forgot, like the video. I guess it's right. Let's check the results. Again, original image here in black and white. When we did the Seed Edit 1.6, it definitely is able to get the vibe. However, the colors are quite unsaturated. It does look quite old. The colors not really popping as well as I would hope. In GPT 4.0 is performing the best of the bunch in my opinion, but again, it is remaking the image quite a bit, seeing that the structure and the characters are exactly the same on the original image and the Seed Edit, whereas ChatGPT has actually generated more and newer characters. So this will be really good if you want to have consistency across the images. With Gemini 2.0 as well, it definitely saturated the image way too much and is not really the best image here, even though it did perform the task in, it made it into color. And it's really cool to see, because if you really want the original image, I would stick with this model here. But if you kind of want it a little bit better or a little bit changed, we can use ChatGPT 4o to do that. There are a few more comparisons. but I'm not going to go over these. They have performed really well in all of the different tests that we have checked out, as well as performing really well on the artificial analysis website, which is a completely unbiased testing platform. So with everything that we've seen, this looks like an amazing model. But there is one thing that ChatGPT is doing better than most other models that I want to share in a bit. But first, how do you get access to SeeDream 3.0? Well, that's pretty simple. So the two available methods to get access to this right now is dreamina.capcut.com. And the second way is if you have a Douyin account, that is the Chinese TikTok. I don't have access to this because they don't have Norway in this country list that I can get access to. So for me, I do have to use the dreamina.capcut.com. Now, the thing with this is that it's not available to every country. I only have access to SeeDream 2.1, 2.0, I have the 1.4 and XL Pro. I found this out by checking Reddit and seeing that this is the place we can get access, but not everyone has access yet. However, I did see a bunch of people on X that did have access to it right now, so maybe you are one of those. Once you get access to Dreamina, all you gotta do is click on Generate here or go to the image generator, change the model in the bottom, and then just start prompting. I'm gonna try the SeeDream 2.1 with the prompt ASD, and this is the result. I think we can try it for free for a couple of generations before we need to buy credits to use it more. But where does ChatGPT have a slight advantage? Well, after reading the comment section here, this guy is saying, I tried it briefly, it's not bad, but extremely bland stylistically when it comes to more complex prompts, and way behind 4o or Sora when it comes to prompt comprehension and image-to-image features. This benchmark is pretty outdated. So this is one of the variables that we test for, which is style, or what you love to call it, coolness. Some image generator create bland, really basic images that kind of looks like it's taken from your school books, biology class or something like that. Whereas some models create it looking so cool with all these things going on. And that is exactly what he's talking about here. And if you've been prompting with Midjourney, for example, they have a really high coolness factor or style that looks really cool in comparison to many other models. I personally believe that Flux 1.1 also has a really cool style, and one of the reasons that I use it as well. But then we have the kicker, which is the prompt comprehension and image-to-image features. We did see that it had some image-to-image features like coloring and image. However, what you can do inside of ChatGPT is take 3 different images and say, can you create one image out of these 3? For some people, that is a complete game changer. If you, for example, want to make a Pokemon card, you just put an image of a Pokemon card, and then you put a photo of your dog, for example, then you say, make a Pokemon card out of my dog, and you got that made. This is a complete new dimension that they haven't tested in this paper versus ChatGPT, which is where ChatGPT will get a golden star. This user, Garden Speech as well, says, yeah, this is where the magic in 4o is. It's not for the style or quality of images per se. It's the fact that it can actually give you what you prompted for. This user says the benchmark needs to be updated. The prompting difficulty does not highlight the edge 4o has on other models. This user is saying local/open source is the only interesting form of image gen. Sadly, VRAM is being stunted in consumer products on purpose by Nvidia, so they don't have as much room to improve. So that is the new SeeDream 3.0. Hopefully you got something out of this. I know it's a lot of comparison of images to images, and those are taken from the writers themselves, which does decrease a little bit of the trust. However, seeing that it's on artificial analysis, one of the leaderboards that I trust the most, means that you can actually consider if this is one of the new image generators that you want to start using and become your new main image generator. Now, if you're trying to use image generation to grow on social media, we've built a tool called Content Mate. It allows you to scrape any user online and get their views, impressions, and even transcribe their content so you can get the best winning content ideas for your niche. No more spending hours writing social media posts. You can now batch a week's worth of viral content in one sitting. You can check out Content Mate in the link in the description and never have to worry about what to post again. Thank you so much for watching this video. Click this video next, and I'll see you in next one. Peace.